Welcome, everyone. Let's just give everyone another moment or so to come online with us. I am challenging myself to do 100 days of live transmissions, just to kind of see what wants to come through me. So if you're here, I want to just thank you for jumping on board and wanting to be part of this experiment. And for those of you that are new to me, I'm Dr. Stephanie Bridwell. I've been a wellness coach and chiropractor and mentor in the Bay Area for over 20 years. And I'm about to publish a book called Calling the Universe Home. And the things that most excite me in life, in my work, are working with the energetics of the universe through our embodiment. And everything in my work is feminine led, meaning I lead with life, I lead with nature, I lead with energy, I lead with creation, I lead with like what's most alive. And I'm not stifled or suffocated by the rules, by following through with something I said I was going to do one moment because it might change the next. I'm not like held hostage by anything mental. The work that I do with people all of these years has been really about like what's true in the moment, not really what was true yesterday or tomorrow or 2 years ago or, at some future place where everything worked out, but what's really true in this very moment. And to me, that is the feminine. And that is how the feminine leads all of my work, inspires everything I do. And I also have this other incredible capacity to interpret the fields, the biofields around our bodies, and the way that our spine and our nervous system integrates life from the field around us. And literally how our spine and our nervous system is like, it's like a funnel from the universe. And then we filter life through our spinal column. So our spinal column, from like all the way from what we've brought ancestrally into our system to every single thing that we've like either said yes to or no to in our system our entire life. So like if something was like, say we were fed our bottle and it was too hot, our system was like, oh, and that's a no. If it's like too cold, our system's like, that's another no. But if we're fed milk the right temperature, our system's like, it's just right. That's a yes. And so like those yeses and nos are organizing our filter, which is our spine and our nervous system, from the moment of our conception until the moment that you're taking your last breath. And we don't really know what happens beyond there. But the spine as an organ of discernment, as long as it's alive, is like literally the organ that you're living your life through. And I have a lot to say on that over these 100 days together. But today I wanted to drop in and talk about the energy that's like underneath what we think we can fix and manipulate and treat and like change, transform, make better, medicate, coach. It's like below all of that is this energetic that is pre-rational, meaning it's like all the ways that your spine and your nervous system have developed that were before your rational mind came online. Because when your rational mind came online, it thinks, and it thinks. That's the first thing it does, is it thinks. And because it thinks, it begins to look at all the things that we are saying no to, all of our resistance. And the mind, the rational mind, thinks it can manipulate it, coach it, change it, transform it from the mind itself. And so there's like a lot of people I work with, and a lot of coaches, and a lot of mentors, and a lot of teachers, and people that really wholeheartedly like put all of their belief into this thinker to manage our pain, transform our pain, change our pain, make our pain go away, rewire us to be something different, upgrade us. And I wanted to start here today because I feel like one of the things that happens because we invest so much into this thinker is that we lose our connection to what really needs our attention. And what really needs our attention is the part of us that can't think our way out of it. We can't talk our way out of it, can't think our way out of it. We can't be told to do it a certain way. It's this part that you can't like work on it. You can't like go in and give it like an assignment that is designed to like create a new mindset or a new belief system or a new value system or anything like that. And so that's where I feel like healing kind of fails. That's where I feel like healing fails. Hold on. In a lot of ways, because I don't know if many of you that know me know my first degree, educational degree, was in psychology, and I have a master's and license in psychology. And my main focus was on neurology and how the nervous system works, and like the nervous system's way of communicating through the body, ways that affect our mind, our psychology, right? And even in developmental psychology, they don't really focus so much on this part that I'm going to talk about today. It sort of is skipped over because there's so much value invested in the mind to make all the changes to change everything, to change the body, to change patterns, to change distortions, to change health. There's so much investment in the mind to do it. And over the years, the foundational thing that I do when I work with clients is to help them be with the part of them that is underneath the mind, that isn't the mind, doesn't communicate in mind ways. And it's like the foundation of transformation. So that part of us is the pre-rational part of us. It's the part of us that like came here from like our ancestral collective unconscious, all came into that one little egg that was in your mother. And the collective unconscious in the sperm that penetrated into the egg to start you going through meiosis and mitosis and cell division. And just that is huge because there's so many micro traumas that came forth from your ancestors that weren't resolved. And so like part of all of our purpose, like the meaning and the purpose of like lineage passing the baton from one to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, is that it is to like evolve through what we can like embody and digest and move through and resolve. And that's how we evolve, right? And if we don't resolve something in our lifetime, it will be passed to the next generation to see if they can resolve and evolve. And so we are programmed with, you know, we're here because of the things that they resolved and were able to evolve into us. So we are part of evolution in that way. And then the things that are in us that haven't been resolved are now ours to resolve. So just that piece before even like becoming a fetus, there's already all of these like micro traumas programmed into us. And those aren't those aren't for the mind. They aren't to be digested, and like the mind isn't the project manager of any of that. That's like before the mind. And then, so we have all of these micro traumas. And then there's like the actual moment of conception, the moment of like this genetic material from like an entire lineage penetrating into the genetic material of a whole other lineage. So like there's this moment of like, like and now because there's so much diversity, now like two huge timelines come together to make you. And so like just in that, there's so much to digest. And then there's like our gestation. So during gestation, there's still no mind, and your body is like, you know, ones and zeros, yeses and nos to everything that's happening in your maternal environment So like, does your mom want you? Does your dad want you? Yes or no? That's shaping you. Is the environment safe? Is the environment frightening? That's shaping you. Is your mom healthy? Is there like a disease or an illness process going on in her body or in her field? So like in her body, is there something going on that is you are like yes and no to, right? Micro traumas. Are you digesting them? Or are you tightening and resisting? Then it's like, what about the health of all of her relationships and the health of all the people that orbit around her? Is there vitality there? Is it a welcoming environment to be born into? Or are people worried about there's their fear and worry and contraction and resistance and all of these things that are creating like the no's, like no, 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 no inside. There's still no mind. So already I think you can feel if we try to target everything from the mind, it's kind of like, I don't know, like the middle of the Oreo cookie. It's like you're not getting the whole thing. You're not getting the whole thing. And so then, then there's the birth process. So you find your way to adapt to all of these micro traumas from your ancestry, from conception, from gestation. Then there's like the most violent exit. You are used to like your mom's heartbeat. You're used to like the swishing and the like of fluids moving through your mom. That's what you listen to, the vibration of her, the vibration of her body, the vibration of her bones when she walks, the vibration of her when she's sleeping, and you're like attuning to her breath cycle, the sounds around her, all of this stuff, the warmth, the fluid, you're like in water. You spend the first, up to 42, 43, 44 weeks suspended in water. Every one of you. Water. That's your environment. That's your beginning. That's your comfort zone. That's home. Water is home. And all of the vibrations that pass through the water is your safety zone, is your home. And then boom, violent contractions like an earthquake, like whoo, 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 wakes you from this like watery home and starts pumping you and pressuring you and pushing you out into this totally foreign world. And then if you make it through, however you made it through, whether it's vaginally, whether it's C-section, however you made it through, there's a lot of trauma. Even the most beautiful, like I had a hypnobirth with a bathing water tub, and my birth was like textbook, like they write the exact amount of time they tell you, all of it. My baby came out in the call, which is it's very unique. She came out in her amniotic sac, like completely intact. So she came through me completely intact in this ball. So like even that birth where like the water didn't break and she didn't get like fully disconnected from her land as she came out into the new land is still traumatizing. And then you begin being hungry, and no longer are you being nourished by amniotic fluid and all your mama's nutrients. But now, hopefully, you're able to get breast milk, which is like the least traumatizing. But if you're getting like foreign substances fed into you, your body is again like ones and zeros, yeses and nos, yeses and nos, yeses and nos. And there's a lot of nos. It's too cold. It's too hot. It's this. It's not right. Nah, 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 nah. Your system is like being shaped. Your spine is being shaped. And still, you're not thinking. And then you pee on the bed. And everybody starts yelling, like, oh my God, the baby peed on the bed. Ah! You're a little boy and you just like peed up in the air in somebody's face. I've had that happen. Or, you know, you're left too long in your diaper and you get a freaking diaper rash. Your booty is red and sore and tender, and like everything that touches it is like, yeah. Ones and zeros, yeses and nos, a lot of nos. And then you know, start to crawl. Everybody's losing their minds. Like the baby's crawling. It's going to get into the medicine cabinet. It's going to get into like the cleaning supplies. The baby. Who's going to watch the baby? I got to go to work. I need to make money. I don't have time. Blah, 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 blah. Who's going to be the sitter? Who's going to do this? All of this chaos is going on. Your body is still trying to adapt with the ones and zeros. Resistance, opening, resistance, opening, resistance, opening. And you're still not thinking. You're still not thinking. It's not rational. And then all of these things happen. You get in trouble for playing with the wrong toy. You get left without something that you needed. All of these things start to happen, you know, that whole first year of life. And there may be things that were really traumatizing and you're still not thinking. And so if you want to come in and heal, truly heal and go to the depths of healing and to really resolve so that not only can you evolve, but your legacy can have like a higher baseline that it's starting from, because you didn't like pass down all of your shit to that next generation. Like you're resolving, you know, and that may not be like you're having these children, but like what you as an operating system resolve is pumping into the field, like the next level knowing. And because you resolve and evolve, like your legacy to humanity is being like perpetuated and is creating a new baseline for humanity. It's like we have to start with like that pre-rational, non-verbal being. So how do we do that? Well, what is the very first thing that makes up like the very first universal sound is Om. and it's like a vibration. And so like the primordial birth of our universe is that Om, is that vibration, like the primordial sound of the universe is the primordial sound in all of these things that I've talked about today. That primordial, like, so sound and vibration. Can we clean and clear all of those places within ourselves that aren't able to speak up for themselves? They aren't able to say what they want. They aren't able to like think rationally. They aren't able to create like a to-do list and a mindset list and all psychology, like therapy, like none of that. I just got a little note from my man telling me he loves me. I like that. Good timing. So sound and vibration and coherence. The very first thing that I work with people is being able to have like a coherence through the foundation of their being. And, you know, a lot of that healing, it requires like emitting sound so we can hear where it's not coherent, where it's like, all of those things. That's like staticky of the nervous system. Like the nervous system has all this static from the places where we're not coherent. And so like the foundation of healing, these things that I'm talking about that are like pre-rational and pre-verbal, require like the sound that's there coming through. So it's like the mind has to like be kind of like torn away for a moment to give permission for like the natural sound to come through. And then as that sound comes through, it starts to clarify like butter, like ghee, like clarifying and clarifying and clarifying and clarifying until it gets coherent. And when it's coherent, it's healed. When it's static, it's like still resistance. So that's something that I just feel is like really missing, especially in like transformational work and mindset work and psychotherapy work, is going underneath and underneath and underneath and underneath the mind, underneath the thinker, and even underneath the feeler, so that you can be with the primordial you, which is like sound, and you can start to feel the places that you resisted and let them like fully get their full expression all the way out until they become coherent as a sound vibration, which is how they heal. Coherence means like there's like all of the truth is online. Incoherence means the truth isn't able to like get online. It's like these kind of like the dots are plotted all over the place, and there's no like, you need like the magnet to come through, which is like the coherence is like the magnet that like takes all the pieces and like into one coherent vibrational wave. So I'm curious how that's all landing for you guys. I'd love to hear, you know, your comments and your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs and your sounds. Like, you know, maybe Maybe as I'm talking, you're feeling some of those sounds within you. You know, maybe there was like rejection, or there was like heartache. Maybe there was a parent that died. Maybe there was abuse. Maybe there was abandonment. Maybe there was like extraction of you. Maybe there was violation. Maybe there was neglect. Maybe there was, you know, all of these places where your system tightened. And maybe as I'm speaking, you can start to kind of feel even like all these ways that these sounds want to come all the way out and all the way through and become coherent, so that you're not holding all of these incoherent traumas in your system. Feel that right now. What would that be like for all of those, like the cacophony of vibration to just come through you, all the way through, all the way through, all the way through, all that permission to let it just keep coming all the way out, all the way through, all the way out, all the way through. Until it hit that point of coherence. And that point of coherence, you're resolving it so that you are part of humanity's evolving. And even right now, you may feel kind of tender in a lot of places within the matrix of your body, because like the stuff that hasn't been allowed to vibrate into coherence is stored trauma, and it's like pixelated throughout your system, and these little like pixels, these little images of the stuff, you know. And when we hit it with that sound and the vibration, we let it heal. So even right now, if you start to feel like little places in your body, little pixels of tightness, of stuckness, of fear, of gripping, of let it make the sound right now. Just let yourself make sound. And the more that you allow yourself to make, it's the mind, it's the thinker that halts the sound, because it's like, oh, that's embarrassing. Maybe there was shame, maybe there was guilt, maybe there was like somebody put their hand over your mouth. Maybe someone told you you'd get in trouble if you told, if you talked, if you shared this. Maybe you learned to just stuff pain and stuff trauma and just stuff it all down. And you did a great job that you like stand on top of it and you live your life on top of it. And you have maybe forgotten all that's underneath, or you are petrified to go down there because like you, in your mind says there's so much pain down there. We don't go there. I don't feel emotion. I don't feel any of that. But you're also living disconnected from the whole pulse of life, if that's the case. You know, like disassociated, like you're just going through the motions. I know that really well. I did that myself. It's really painful to go through the motions, and it's like more painful than actually like handling all of this that's in here. You know? So yeah, that's my invitation for you right now. If you're really like somebody who wants to know why you're here, that wants to like embody the greater purpose of your life, that wants to be all that you are here for, that you've been like hammering away at all the mindset stuff, to give yourself permission, just like right now, after I turn off this video, to move and make the sounds that are like in there, and like make the sound until they kind of like hit that coherence, like that sound. And you'll know, like it'll be static, like okay. So play. That's a new skill set for most people. Play, have fun, enjoy it. We're here to play, because like when you do open all of this, what we start to find is that our soul is actually who wants to like lead our bodies. And our soul is like here to have fun. Our soul is here to play. Our soul is here to experience. Our soul is playful. It's again the thinker, the mind, who's like serious, very serious. Okay. So I invite you to spend some time today finding the sounds that are there. Maybe it's just like one little pixel and you just want to like bring it all the way to coherence for yourself and for all of humanity. And maybe you want to like let your soul come in and play a little bit. Have it be fun. Okay. So that's what I have for today. I hope this was interesting and helpful, and I'd love to hear how it landed.